Yo? Yeah. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I'm still in New York City. Y'all just moving a little quiet. Just want to make sure. How y'all doing? My name is Saray, co-founder of the After Party.
And I'm Jody, the other half of the After Party.
We're excited to invite you guys to Not Your Average panel in collaboration with the Creators Club.
Yes, a very dope group that has an amazing podcast that features extremely talented people from all over the globe, like Joel Santana, Jim Jones, just to name a few.
We just had our event last Thursday for those who were there. Yeah. Now we're wrapping up New York Fashion Week here at the Shopify store. So shout out to Shopify, shout out to Denman Brush, our partners, and shout out to 54 Thrones for our VIP gifting.
So tonight we have some seriously dope things planned for all of you guys. And you'll hear from some amazing names within the fashion ecosystem. But most importantly, you'll also hear from yourselves. Yes, that's right. Every one of you guys will have the opportunity to interact and have your voice truly be heard. And you'll see a little bit more about that in a little bit.
So plot twist is not your regular panel where you just sit down. You guys' opinions gonna matter too. So be prepared to talk because I'm walking around and I'm gonna give y'all the mic. So get your speaking voices ready.
Yeah. What's the vibes, y'all? Thank y'all so much for coming. Y'all look so good. I appreciate y'all. So first and foremost, I gotta introduce my guy. My guy, he from Harlem. He's a wardrobe stylist, a running influencer, and a philanthropist who approaches every creative project with intentions and leaves those he comes into contact with not only looking better, but also feeling inspired. And he's the leading designer of Killer of Season. Shout out boy Kwasi, let's go. She's from Ohio. Her clothing line is called Chenae B. Started with in 2018. And the brand prides itself on providing quality and comfort. Y'all know we need comfort all day. Please put your hands together for Chenae. Last but not least, we got Obee Roulette. Fashion beauty. Jersey born, Texas raised. She's an entrepreneur of luxury fashion, stylist, worked with LV as a fashion stylist and wears many hats. Obee, please put your hands together for Obee. So I want to start this off, right? Because we know it's Fashion Week, right, y'all? So everybody is all into fashion all day. Everybody be thinking they putting that shit on, right? So how y'all feel about fashion and style? We're going to jump into that. Fashion and style, like, what's the difference between the two and how y'all feel about that?
I mean, I could jump in. I feel like, first of all, I want to say thank you for hosting this event, Tutu, and having us here during Fashion Week, during Black Futures Month. We appreciate you. Thank you. But in terms of fashion and style, I feel like style is you could put anything on and make it look good. And fashion is like you wearing that shit, to me. Because again, if you want to go high-low, if you want to go, designer, luxury, and you want to shop, men's contemporary, I think style is like everlasting. You could be anywhere, put anything on, and it looks great on you.
Anybody could have on designer or have on anything, but it won't look good. You get what I'm saying? But when you got that aura and you got it in you, you could style anything. We could go in Target and put that shit on. You hear what I'm saying? So how y'all ladies feel about that?
I agree. I feel like two different people can have the same outfit on and it just looks entirely different. But to me, I feel like fashion is just like the overarching, like just clothing and like apparel and everything that like defines fashion. But style, I feel like it's just personalization. So I feel like style is what separates someone within the fashion industry. So as I said, two people can have the same outfit on, but they might just style it different, or as she said, the aura. Like it's just, style is what separates everyone from one another?
So for me, I think I see it as fashion comes in genres, right? Like there was different times and different looks where we were accomplishing, different things at that time. And so with those looks came styles, and everybody found their individual style along the way, kind of like nitpicking on certain fashion trends that they saw along, fashion times. So I usually see it as fashion being the start in the timeline of where you can pick which fashion style and trend that you want to create for yourself as an individual.
So there's many debates about like Virgil and LV and Pharrell LV. Tell me your opinion on that.
Y'all know I have many opinions, so we're gonna wait for me.
Obee working at LV. Obee, I want you to answer that.
I'm gonna talk last.
You should. All right.
So I think that in terms of Pharrell and Virgil and LV, I feel like in the fashion industry as creators, we always talk about like gatekeepers. And I think with Pharrell and Virgil, it's an opportunity. They open the gate. You know what I'm saying? This is actually a conversation I had with Stephen Othello, where I was upset when Martine Rose and Wells Bonner didn't get the opportunity. And he was like, nah, it's an opportunity for us as creators, as designers, as I graduated from school with a journalism degree. Maybe I'll be the next, Virgil, the next Pharrell. So I think it's a great opportunity for everyone. So, yeah.
I honestly didn't have a big opinion when he got appointed, but I do just feel like I'm happy to see another Black man in this role within the luxury market.
I feel like now, we're seeing a lot of people in color in these positions and things like that. And Obee, you working in LV and things like that. Like, what's your take on that?
So my take on Virgil and Pharrell being on the team is really big. Being that Louis Vuitton is one of the top leading fashion brands in the US right now, known across the world, and it being led by some powerful Black people makes me happy. I don't know about y'all, but that speaks volumes to me. When it comes to Virgil, standing in those places and being in those places, helping us put his foot through the door, coming from Ghana, having a story to tell says so much about his background and just the passion that he had to be able to help LV get to where it is right now. And Pharrell kind of taking on that mantle and kind of switching the whole game up is crazy to me, because the styles that we see now with checker prints, the damier, is completely different from what our usual damier print looks like. We're just kind of allowing Pharrell to have that creative freedom that he's shown us that he's had in the past with Adidas and other brands that he's shown that he's able to pull through with. And I just love to see how he's taking it and kind of taking it to a whole new level. Because the last fashion show that we did, with the designs that was very Texas inspired, I loved it.
How important is that brand identity, especially with having your own brand and things like that? What you think, Kwasi?
I think brand identity is quite possibly the most important part of branding. I mean, it's called branding. So that is the ethos of the brand. That's where you build your designs off of. That's where you build your ideas off of, is the branding. So for me, it's always the most important part. As a personal brand, as a designer, as a stylist, branding is super important. When I work with artists, it's I want to stay consistent to their brand, but I also want to elevate it. So for me, branding is almost everything, because that's the building block that you work from when you're working in design, fashion in general.
From a marketing standpoint, which is what my background stems from, branding is the most critical component of a brand, because it's what differentiates you within the competitive landscape. So it will build your brand awareness amongst consumers. It will improve your brand loyalty, your customer retention. It's really, it's a building block, but overall, the aspect of branding is so important.
And what happens basically, if you don't build a brand identity? What do y'all feel what happens?
I feel people who don't have a strong brand identity might latch onto any kind of identity, and it might be very similar to another brand, or people who they might have influences or other brands that they look to that motivate them or inspire them, but then they might create their brand entirely too similar to them. So it's not really separated them from any other brands that they're competing against. So as I said, having that thing that really differentiates you, it's what's going to make you competitive amongst everyone else.
So what's your take on like copying? Did you ever experience anybody like copying something that you did?
You know, when they talk about fashion and it, you know, repeating itself and nothing is new under the sun, we get that, right? Things have repeated themselves. You've seen looks come back. You've seen outfits, shoes, styles come from the grave and come right back. If you see something that you like, just make sure when you're looking at this thing, you're not taking it bit by bit, because that's that person's style. That's what makes them who they are. You can say, oh, I like the way that she does her swirl. Let me add it to my outfit. But your outfit's completely different. So you didn't steal my style. You just copied my swirl. But you can't take my look, so you can't be me, you know? When it comes to copycats and fashion, I mean, just like, you could take what you like, but essentially you can't be the person. So just be inspired. That's what I advise you.
And monetization of like brand identity, like how do we get to that point?
A big part of branding is creating like your social media, your website, like all your digital assets. So as I said, we know that social media is a big part of marketing now. So how you market yourself is within your brand identity. So how you choose to take your pictures, the color scheme of your brand, the layout of your Instagram, the type of content that you create, the utilization of your website, the imagery on your website, the copy on your website, everything translates into sales if you have a strong brand identity.
So do y'all feel like technology really plays a part in like branding and stuff like that? Because I know you mentioned like website, and shout out to Shopify. Shopify, they do a website.
Like even your domain name, you have to like create or buy a domain. They're like $10, and it's like it just looks more professional. Or if you have an email with your domain attached to it, versus just like a Gmail or like a Yahoo, like it all correlates. So everything needs to be cohesive, like have the same domain name, same font, same everything.
How important is it being present on social media? What you think, Kwasi?
I mean, I'm heavy on social media, but I think, again, it goes back to the brand identity. Some brands may shy away from social media, and it's like, if you know, you know. But I think that social media is our form of marketing. It's new age marketing. I think the ways that we consume, advertisement is different. It's like you seeing brands go direct to influencers because they have more a hold on people. Like people gravitate towards them, more readily. So I just think that social media is super important, and I feel like it's definitely a tool that should be used by everybody if you can to, get yourself out there, market, and, really put your brand out there.
Piggybacking off of social media being important in like influencer marketing, the thing is metrics, KPIs, conversions is very important. So you might see an influencer with like 150K, but it does not mean that you're going to gain sales because their conversion rates might be really, really low. So they can have a lot of followers, but a lot of people may not like or may not post or may not truly want to buy what they're having on. So like asking for a media kit is important if you are a brand and you want to use someone and pay them or give them, promotional items, whatever it is that you sell. Ask to see their conversions, please.
Right. Yeah, because it's really all about in the engagement rates.
Yep.
And that's how you're able to negotiate those monetary sales when it comes to what content you're putting out for the brands or whatever company that you're working with. Or if you are trying to sell a product, being as an entrepreneur, you do have to have those engagements for people to have that trust to want to work with you and have that retention to come back.
So you think like popularity play a part in that? Like being popular where you from, and then you put out something, and everybody want to get it just because it's you.
I feel like once you have a cult following, you can sell anything. People are going to buy it. It doesn't even necessarily have to be good or very innovative. If you sell it and you just have like this cult following already, people are going to purchase it.
I can agree to that. I know a lot of people that have like relationships with people in communities. They can print a t-shirt, have 100 people, 200 people come out and support the brand. I've seen it done with my brother's brand, Polymer Studios, Black Billionaires Club, many brands, that have been able to put themselves out there and it flourished. So it's really all in the community. Once you have a community established, you're good.
So that goes into quality versus quantity. So basically what y'all saying is that if you popular, you got a good following and things like that, people just gonna get it just because it's you.
Yeah.
And then once they get it and they see the quality, then they'll have like feedback. So what's y'all take on that? Just like having your brands and things like that, and how important is it with, sometimes we get to a point and it's like, some people will be like, yo, you don't put out a lot of stuff, but it's like you chasing quality and that quality costs. But if you're just putting out a bunch of stuff, then it's like it don't have a lot of quality, it's just like quantity. So like what's the importance on that?
I mean, I would love to touch on that with my brand Kill Off Season. So we do shopping experiences. We have one coming up in April, so look out for that. But the whole brand identity when we first started, myself, Stephen Othello, and O'Brien, was to make a quality leather pant. And we successfully did that. And every time we make a pant, we try to make a better pant and a better pant. So we all about quality. And that's like a part of my branding and my ethos as a human being. It's like, I want to do everything with intention. I want to do everything with quality. I want to do it with purpose. I feel the quantity thing, but it's like we want to have products that'll last and stand the test of time. So
I want to engage with the crowd too, because I want to know like how y'all feel about brand identity and also like quality versus like quantity. Anybody in the crowd, how y'all feel about that?
I don't know if you guys connect with this in this season, but definitely quality is everything. If you can make, a product that people can brag about and they can say, no, this thing is solid, you build trust, and trust is what you need to build community. And so, they go hand in hand. You can't sell your community like a false product or something not good and then expect to keep their trust. So I think if you want to solidify and create that cult following and just keep people speaking positively of their experience, you have to. You have to give them something to hold on to that they can say, no, when I buy from so-and-so, I know it's going to be bomb. It also makes, they'll boost your reputation.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Just to tag on to that, I actually have a question for the panel because I'm a designer and trying to get into the luxury and contemporary space. And what I'm seeing a lot in luxury is that it seems to me like the quality across the board is going down from what I've kind of known it to be. So kind of wanting to get y'all's take on that, if it matters more for certain brands. Like I feel like for Black and brown brands, like it matters more for us, especially as we're emerging into the market, to like establish a level of quality. But I feel like there's a lot of creativity with us too. So it makes it, or at least for me, like it makes it a really difficult balance because you can be creative and you can have that, the quality or the impetus to bring quality to our clothing. But I feel like it's just so competitive and fashion is just such a rapidly evolving industry that it feels like sometimes, and with fast fashion and just the way the market is right now across the board, it feels like you kind of have to compromise if you want to be competitive.
I feel like, again, brand identity, this is where it becomes important because like your brand story is what consumers will attach to So if you stay true to yourself and stay true to your brand story and your origin story, people are going to buy from you no matter what. So my brand, well, one of my brands, I have 3 businesses, but one of my brands is named after me. And when I started, I tried so hard to change the name to something that was not connected to me, so no one would know that it was my brand, because I like to stay behind the scenes. But it just was not working. God was like, girl, just name it after yourself. But then I started out by taking pictures of myself wearing it. And that is what generated my customer loyalty, because they know that it's me and they know that I'm making it by hand. And I mean, it grabbed Vogue's attention. And although I can't produce the amount of products that I want at the moment, because I come from a business and marketing background, so I'm very, very self-taught. But I know that continuing, even my customers told me what my thing is for my brand is draping. I didn't even realize it. It's just when I would take a picture of something that I did not announce that I made, everyone was like, you made that, didn't you? And I'm like, how did you guys know? And they're like, the draping. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess draping is my staple. Although I can't produce the quantity that I want at the moment, my quality, it's good it could always be better. I'm a perfectionist, but my customers love it. I literally see repeating names when I drop new things. So again, branding is very important.
Yeah. I think branding also through online with your website and also on social media is big, because if you're able to have that platform like Instagram or TikTok that helps you with the themes. And, when everybody is like, oh, well, I want my feed to look in a specific way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes companies do that because they know it's going to drive those customers and get those sales. So if you're able to get them from the website to get to your Shopify store, for example, my Shopify is called Lumi Jewels. I have custom jewelry pieces that I source from my, vendors where I pick these pieces and also go source them to figure out which ones that I really want to sell on my website and are quality gold Ramil. So I do these things to know that and to make sure that my clients know that my products are quality, they're being sourced. And also when you go through my Instagram page, you're able to see, okay, well, this is the quality of a product based off of the photos that she takes or the positions, the imagery and everything. So it's all about how you sell yourself as a brand, which goes back to the identity. And if you're able to really just have that trust and community and all of that stuff really just flows.
I want to touch on that as well. In terms of what you were saying in terms of quality, I'm paraphrasing, but my Ghanaian brother, Virgil, he was like, don't chase perfection. So again, with my brand Kill Off Season, we made a quality leather pant, what we thought was the best quality we could make. And then as we continue to make it and manufacture it, we we can make this better. We can make this better. So I would suggest to you to come out with the best that you can make and then just make it better over time.
And then also, being an entrepreneur costs. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when we started off, we may start off with something and it was good for our pockets. You get what I'm saying? And then as you go on, you grow and things like that. And then you see the quality and things like that. And then everything changed. And also, I would like to say the trends, everything changed with the trends and then things go back because even True Religion is coming back. I remember wearing True Religion at high school. My name was True too. That's how bad I had on True Religion. It was a big thing. Even seeing that now, and I remember my mom used to always buy me bootcut jeans. And then it changed. I'm like, yo, I don't want to wear bootcut jeans. I want them to be straight leg. You know what I'm saying? So now that's all coming back to where at first we started off, we was wearing straight leg jeans. Now we wearing bootcut jeans. Like I would have never had on Carhartt pants right now. You get what I'm saying? Not right now, but back then I would have had them on. You get what I'm saying? So everything is like going back and forth and things like that. So how y'all feel about like everything like in a full 360 and how do that like affect y'all when y'all start creating with y'all brands?
I mean, I feel like fashion is just cyclical. I think it's just the life cycle of everything. My mother's in the audience and she rocking her kente scarf. And like the diaspora is cool right now, right? Like if you're from Ghana, if you're from the Caribbean, et cetera, we celebrate it. So hopefully that comes back around. But it's just like my mom been doing that since before I was born. So it's just like, that's just the cycle of life. That's the cycle of fashion. Everything is 360. After baggy fit, we'll probably go into slim fit. Hopefully we don't go back into skinny, but that's another conversation. But everything comes back around. And that, eventually we'll go into slim cut after the baggy look. The 90s baggy look, we'll go into slim. Hopefully we don't go back to skinny, but that's a possibility. And we'll be thinking about this conversation like, yo, remember we was talking about,
That's right.
you know what I'm saying? So like, that's just the cycle of fashion, the cycle of life.
Because originally, where your style created from? Where you got your style from?
My style?
Yeah.
Yo, honestly, number one, it come from the ancestors in real life. Because my mom always talks about how she would look at her uncles and be like, yo, they sharp. So then when she had kids, she was just like, yo, she used to shop for us at Lord & Taylor and A&S. I don't know if y'all remember that. And then her siblings would be like, yo, why are you shopping for your kids at these stores? She was like, because that was in her. Like, she liked people looking clean and good in suits and, et cetera. And then my sister, of course, she always told me to stand out as an individual. She was like, don't look like everybody else. Like, you gotta look different. You gotta stand out. And then just being from Uptown, being from Harlem, you wanted to look different. You wanted to stand out. You wanted to have something to talk about. You wanted to bring something new to the table. So that's where I got my fashion from.
For sure. Do you remember, like, when you was first going into school, like, I want to say high school, because I feel like that's when we really started, like, understanding our garments and walking into school. What was the popularity like then? Walking into school, first of all, I couldn't wait to go to school. You get what I'm saying? That was the thing.
Lay it out the night
I just wanted, I was ironing my clothes. First of all, my mom already was ironing my clothes at night.
Yeah.
That was first and foremost. When I knew I had a fit for the week, we was ironing our clothes at night. So what was the popularity like, knowing, I know when I get to school, they waiting for me. They waiting to see what I'm going to have on. What was that like for you?
I mean, for me, that was my whole energy. Like, I identified with fashion in that way. I didn't know that was a thing, but it was like, that's how I presented myself. So when I would have like the newest sneakers and the dopest jacket to match, that's how I presented myself to the world. Because like, when you see people, you don't know their IQ, you don't know where they're from necessarily, depending on they look. But you generally see your face and you see the clothes. That was everything for me in high school, coming to school, feeling good, looking good. As my mother would hope that I performed well, but that's a different story. But yeah, fashion was super important for me, from the sneakers to the jackets to how you matched it, to the name brands, high school. I was that kid in kindergarten that used to wear suits to school because women in church would look at me and be like, oh, he's so cute. And I thought it was the clothes. So I was like, I got to bring this energy into wherever I pull up. You know what I'm saying? And then over time, I realized it wasn't the clothes, but that's how I identified as a kid. That's how much fashion was important to me as a kid. But yeah, coming to school, that was everything.
I can actually agree to him because my mom did some wild stuff too. Growing up, I swear, y'all, we would go to school, elementary. I was out here in Jersey. That's where I was born, right? So my mom would have us going to school dressed up. I was wearing thigh-high heels in elementary, y'all. In the lunchroom, I was just strutting. It was fun, and I didn't really know what it was, but my mom wanted us to look good. And what she was really doing was she was preparing us for auditions out here in New York. Sometimes she would take us out of school in the middle of lunch or towards the end of school and have us doing auditions in Madison Square Garden for TV shows or whatever it might be, modeling gigs or whatever. She just wanted to teach us that there were other opportunities that you can make money and be successful other than just a 9-to-5, because many people feel like, oh, I have to follow this journey of doing X, Y, and Z to get to where I need to be. Meanwhile, you see the Jay-Z's, you see the Beyoncés, you see the Bill Gates who are still making it out there and being very successful in what they do without having a roadmap like the 9-to-5ers. Sure. Exactly. So my mom just wanted to make sure that we always had a vision and that we didn't limit ourselves from what that vision looked like.
Right.
And whatever our passion was, go for it.
Let's talk about because the getting dressed thing, it's so big, right? I want to tap into like when we would, shout out to the boosters, okay? Because that goes back to the whole, that we're going to go back to the quantity and quality thing, right? Because sometimes the boosters will pull up and they got that stuff, right? But it may not, sometimes that shit don't be real, right? And then it do be real. It's like if you catch them, right? I remember being caught in school, right? I'll tell y'all a quick story. I was in high school, right? I told y'all they was calling me True too. I was wearing True Religion so much. My homeboy put me to the side. I think this was my first pair of True Religions, and this is bad because this is my first pair. Put me to the side. He like, yo, Two, them shits is fire. I'm like, thank you, bro. He like, they fake though. I'm like, what? I said, how you know? He like, bro, the stitching is not right. I'm like, bruh. So I get home, I tell my mother, she like, what? She going crazy. My mom's just going crazy. So I just wanted to tap into the audience reactions and just get y'all reactions on the quality versus quantity. who could raise their hand?
I'm gonna head to the back real quick. I see some spicy responses.
in the back?
So let's see what y'all got over here. Y'all got a response to this question? Y'all see it? Excuse me. Sorry. We got anybody want to say anything back here? Don't be shy. Oh, yes. First of all, get into this hat. Hold on.
I've heard so much about the quality of clothing and how, you want to promote your brand and branding. But I didn't hear, and I would have loved to have heard someone say something about time. Because we're so interested and we're so quick to have a brand. But what we don't understand is that branding takes time. And anybody can put a name on a piece of cloth. But it's the time that you have to put into a brand in order for the brand to become or flourish. I think that fashion is universal. And what I mean by that is that it cultivates us to want to reach out and just grab everything and everybody and bind them together to become one creative force, right? And it doesn't originate all the time from us. It comes from our team. We build off of that and we create something that, Pharrell is doing so well. And this is not to discredit him. I'm just saying, like, we oftentimes forget about the team when we're branding.
For sure.
The other thing is there's a season, and it's Pharrell's season. I remember Kanye wanting that season to come to his doorstep so very badly in the house of Louis Vuitton. But when God gets ready to give you your blessing, it is not your picking. It's God's picking. It's God's choice.
It's always on his time.
Really, that's what I was going to say about your timing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's God's timing.
In all of this, in the spectrum of fashion, it's the time. It's the time for branding. It's the time for creativity. It's the time for togetherness. It's the time to support.
For sure.
Have a blessed night, everybody.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So I wanted to tap in because I know we all mentioned like our moms and things like that, of things that created around us with our fashion and stuff. Obee, I read that your mom had took you guys out of school and you was in like auditionings and things like that and doing different things. Like, so is that something that inspired your fashion and your style today?
Yeah, I would definitely say because, growing up, I'm not understanding, half of the things that we're doing. I don't know what a 9-to-5 is. I don't know why I'm going to these auditions and meeting all these people. But, the moment my mom would buy these outfits and she just dressed us up, thought we looked cute, being that we are a first generation Nigerian family here in the US. My mom had to make a way for herself. And, you know, we thank God for what she went through to get us to where we're at. But a part of the journey, what she did was she set us up early. She taught me how to pretty much be an entrepreneur at a young age. I was selling candy to the kids in the school bus, y'all. That was me. But also like taking us to these auditions and having us prepare and get ready for the future and what's to come. I didn't know, but she was preparing me by having me dress up. And as I went to these auditions and we would do these shows and have these modeling gigs or whatever, it inspired me to, you know, become more fashionable because I loved being able to dress up and look cute. I didn't know what I was doing it for, but I really enjoyed it. And then eventually I felt like God was just aligning everything for me in a way where it was only for me to just answer his calling, for me to receive those blessings that he had in store. Because it was like almost a time where I was like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? But it was almost as if I needed to look back to the start from the beginning of where I had started. It was literally here in New York City, chasing my dreams. And then I took my dreams, you know, with me as I grew and never stopped.
I think for them, it was like a fashion present and future kind of thing, like for our parents growing up and stuff. Because I remember my mom used to wear like suits. You get what I'm saying? And growing up now, I love to wear a slack. I dress it down more. Like I'll wear like jeans. I'll wear sneakers with it or like a sweater. But my mom will wear a top, bottom. But I always thought it was fire. You get what I'm saying? And I'll see her and she'll be dressed every day. She had 2 jobs. And I used to be like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's how I'm dressed. And she always ironed her clothes, spray starch and everything. Yeah. I'm not going outside wrinkled. It's not happening. I make sure I iron everything. My mom, if she don't have starch, she was sending you to the store. Can you go to the corner store and give me some starch? So it was a major thing just seeing that. Do y'all feel like the rules in fashion is changing? I think so. Yeah. And I would say that too because I would wear a pair of Uptowns all white right now. My mother was not jacking that. She was not jacking that. All white back then, I think you're supposed to wear like a winter white or something like that after like, what is that, Labor Day? Yeah, something like that. So like if I have on white, even still to this day, if I have on white sneakers, my mom would be like, I don't get it. She'll get it. She's not with it.
Not to this day.
Yeah. If I got on white sneakers right now, I walk in my mother's house in the middle of winter, she's gonna be like, "You old? I don't get it." But if it's off white, then you get what I'm saying. So do y'all feel like the rules in fashion is changing? Is it more like comfortable now? I think it's more comfortable now. What you think?
I think the rules in fashion are definitely changing. I think that because of social media, people are seeing more and being open to other cultures, other styles, other silhouettes, different aesthetics, just because the information is out there. So now it's like you could blend worlds based on what you know and what you've seen and what you've researched. So I think that they're kind of like, there's rules, but it's loose. It's fluid, so to speak, because I think that that's just the evolution of where we are in fashion and in time.
What's some fashion trends right now that's a no-no?
No fashion trends. Great question.
That's a great question.
You're trying to have controversy.
That's for the audience as well. What's some fashion trends right now that y'all think is a no-no?
Controversy.
So Ray, we got one in the back over here.
Nah, she has an answer.
Right here.
We got.
Look.
She's like, where? She's ready.
She's like, hold on. Tell y'all what not to wear, okay?
Where they at?
I said, she's like, I'm gonna tell you what.
Who said jorts? What's jorts? Who said jorts?
Someone said jorts.
Jorts?
I feel like this might be subjective. I would take this out of the category for athletic wear, but if you're wearing a black bottom, you should not have on a white sock.
What? That's a thing. Yo, I swear, I promise. I feel you on that.
If you have on a dark
white sock,
bottom,
I'm so
you should
sorry.
not
If anybody
have a
here
white
have
sock.
on white socks, I'm sorry. I hate white socks. I hate white socks. It's a thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Babe, you look good.
You look great. You look amazing. I'm sorry. I hate white socks. Hold on.
I want to jump in terms of the white sock rule. I mean, the black bottom, white sock, no rule, I feel like you can match it with your footwear. So if you got on white sneakers or white shoes or white boots, you can have on a white, socks, stocking, etc. As long as it matches with one of the things, I feel like that should be dirty white ones. I feel like that should be, that's like my rule. That's how I style people. It's like, they got to be congruent somewhere.
Listen, this is my rule. If I have on white socks, because after I say this, right, because this is on video, y'all gonna catch me, right? Yeah. So in the event that I have on white socks, I have on shorts and white sneakers. I hate to see black pants, black constructs, and you see the white through. I hate it.
But that be some people's swag though. They like the
That's some people's swag.
Papa white.
I'm just speaking of my opinion.
That's some people's swag.
It's getting strict in here.
The Papa white.
It's getting real strict.
Exactly. What your style?
It's getting strict.
All right, what's your opinion? What's your opinion?
My opinion, I'm a sock head. I love socks.
All right, hold on, y'all.
Interesting purses.
Hold on.
Jeans, graphic top.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Jeans, that's what
Hold on.
Not the jeans.
All right, go ahead.
So I'm a sock head. I understand where y'all coming from, but listen, white socks with black sneakers I think is acceptable. What's not acceptable is dirty white Uptowns and dirty Tims. Like the white, like yellow butters, I'm sorry, I'm from Harlem. Those two things you just can't do. Like those are just mandatory.
So what's one more trend that's just a no-no? What's one more that's a no-no? What y'all think is a no-no?
One trend that's a no-no.
I'm trying to
Gentleman in the left with the pink hoodie, my guy.
I just do my own thing.
First thing before I get into anything that's my favorite or not favorite trend is I do feel you guys touch upon an important point in the sense that trends are cyclical when it comes to fashion. And that's definitely a point to consider here. But if we're talking one of my not favorite trends, it would definitely have to be replica designer or, for lack of a better word, fake designer. Only reason I find that to be, as a brand creator, kind of insulting is because these are brands that took a long time to establish their own identities, things like that. And for someone to take their likeness and simply recreate that on product that might not have been sourced the same way just for a quick monetary value, I feel just fake designer, full designer, replicas is just morally wrong. And come on, why are we walking around with fake stuff?
I feel that. I want to touch on that. So you'd be surprised the millionaires and billionaires that wear fake designer because they can.
That's a fact.
Or the fly people that wear fake designer because they can.
And we won't
because
think
everybody going to think it's real and nobody's going to question them. So you're right, but there's clearly a market for fake designer because it's selling and people wearing it. And I know billionaires, millionaires that be wearing that fake stuff. So beware.
So what's some things that's a go? Because I see y'all listed a lot of things y'all said that's a no-no. Graphic tops. Graphic tops is fire. Come on, y'all.
No, graphic.
Oh, that's your face. That's your face.
Like, what's wrong with the statement
I was
piece?
about to, all right. My bad.
Huh?
My bad.
Oh, this was the faves?
Faves? I like dirty white ones.
Okay, good. I'm glad this was y'all's faves.
I see the leather up there, statement pieces. Okay, custom fits, cowboy wear. Shout out to my man Nut.
All right, to the leather.
That's dirty. Dirty ones is crazy.
So, question: who are we crediting for like the new fashion rules? I want to say this: if you know with NBA, right? My boy Allen Iverson changed the whole vibe of the NBA league. Now we got fashion fits with NBA. Now you're able to wear what you want to wear. At first you had to wear suits. You couldn't even have tattoos. He's the reason why everybody's wearing arm sleeves. There's nothing wrong with your arm and things like that. It's a lot of few players, especially LeBron is my favorite, that put that shit on. You get what I'm saying? So like who are some people that we could credit to like the changing of the rules for like fashion?
In terms of the NBA? Or just in general?
Overall, just overall.
Ooh, that's a deep question. Changing the rules in fashion? Ooh. Or somebody said Jay-Z. Who said Jay-Z?
Who said Jay-Z?
I said him earlier.
Jay-Z. I mean, he did change it. They was
No,
wearing
for sure,
jerseys
because I want to say
and throwbacks.
Jay-Z was the reason why I put on a button up with jeans in the first place.
Nah, but
And,
that
high
was
school cousin him.
that was against a lot of people's will though, because we was going to the club and you had to wear button-up pants and shoes. That was against a lot of
Had
people's
on a
will.
button up with jeans and a Yankee. We wasn't doing that back then. It was because of him.
No, but I'm saying, but it wasn't like a general consensus that people wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? You had to do it in order to be in certain circles and go into certain clubs. But yeah, Jay-Z definitely changed fashion. That's a fact, because everybody's wearing throwbacks, Mitchell and Ness, jerseys, football, etc. And then you had to go find you a button-up wherever you could. Banana Republic, anywhere. It was a nasty time.
Chenae, what you think? What you think? Who's someone that we could credit to changing?
I don't know, but I do know Rihanna just does what she wants.
Who?
Rihanna does what she wants.
For sure.
Yeah. She's going to keep doing what she wants.
For sure.
I mean, we were talking about LVMH. Pharrell definitely changed, made it cool to look like a skater, made it cool to wear trucker hats, ringer tees, and have that energy. So
I also feel like it's just an overall generational thing, because like my grandma does not understand certain things. Like if I wear red lipstick around her, she said that prostitutes wear red lipstick. So I would never wear a red lip around her, because I'm like,
red lipstick and like red nails was like a grown thing, right? When we were younger, it's like a grown thing.
But now it's just like, how many colors lipstick has been made in? People wear so many different colors and lips and things. But I just also feel like Gen Z changed from us millennial. We changed from one prior. So I feel like it's going to keep changing. Although fashion is repetitive, it definitely has a repetitive life cycle. How we dress and to wear has changed over time. Like some people might dress differently going to certain events or certain areas. I mean, it's in the workplace, things have changed.
Yep.
Braids, things used to be like a no.
Yeah.
But like now, it's more acceptable.
Right.
I think Kanye too, like, I felt like growing up, I always felt like a little different, like intentionally, but I feel like Kanye made it cool to be like different and have a different kind of swag. He bought the polos, the Louis Vuitton backpack. Like there was a lane for people that wasn't wearing like extra hood looks. They was trying to be a little bit more refined, going to Soho to shop. So like he actually put a light and made it acceptable to wear like the slimmer jeans. Also thinking about like ASAP, they made it cool to wear like designer, Rick Owens, Raf Simons, you know what I mean? So it's like certain people in like hip hop culture made it cool to wear, people were already dressing like that, but it was like, all right, you cool now. Because there was a time when you could be walking around in Harlem and you got on skinny jeans and people would call you names.
So I remember that time.
So it's like when ASAP made it cool, it was like, all right, it's acceptable now. And then everybody started wearing skinny jeans. Now people in Atlanta still wearing skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So
Skinny jeans.
We got one question from the audience. Right?
I had my Subies skinny jeans back in the days, but you know what I mean? But it's like the evolution, you dig?
Right.
I was just gonna talk about the evolution, as he was saying, evolution from our classics like Billie Holiday. Then you saw Diana Ross copying Billie Holiday, and then now we see Diana Ross on stage with Beyonce. As we see, fashion is cyclical and it does come through evolutions, and I think we are able to credit so many different generations with everything that we see today. We see Tracee Ellis Ross doing her thing. We see Zoe Kravitz, breaking barriers. We see Rihanna. She is the queen of fashion. Yep. So I don't know. I just think that going back to the original, what's off limits, I think it's a dangerous thing when you start talking about what's off limits, because you don't know what style it is that they're going for. You don't know what look it is that they're going for. I think that honestly, anything can go. I think Rihanna has taught us that anything can be fashion if you wear it right.
For sure. It's not on you, it's in you.
The statement Rihanna made with her belly during her pregnancy was the most phenomenal thing I have ever seen in my life. And I just want her to keep doing that and inspiring other women to step out and feel comfortable in their bodies during these phases, because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was pregnant, but now I know I'm showing my belly. Y'all gonna see this belly.
Let's get into TikTok. Let's talk about the influence that TikTok have on, first of all, us and fashion. Fashion also. I know you could go on TikTok right now and figure out how to do legit anything. Anything, how to make a drink, how to build a brand, how to do anything. So like how do y'all feel about the impact that TikTok has on fashion?
I like it, to be very honest. I went on TikTok. I said TikTok, I'm sorry. I went on TikTok the other day, and guys, it took them 3 seconds to take my money. And I did not even fathom that I was gonna spend money to purchase something on TikTok. And that's how I know that it's gonna be monetized. And I think it's beneficial for like people who are in that entrepreneurial space to represent, back on Shopify. If you have a business, when it comes to the fashion industry, clothing, jewelry, whatever it is, if you put it on TikTok, you'll definitely do good with the sales, for sure.
Sure. How you feel, Kwasi?
I think it's a beautiful thing. We got Ramsha Conwell in the building, and she's a TikTok, Twitter legend. You got to follow her, Ramsha Conwell. And I just feel like it's the future. I think we were on like Tumblr. Well, first it was like MySpace-ish, right? Not first, but MySpace, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and now it's TikTok. So yeah, it's just the future. We got to get down and lay down. And I feel like, people need to be on it. They need to learn it and, get involved.
What's some things that we can expect to see in 2024 with fashion, y'all think?
2024 fashion? Well, from Kilo season, we're going to have the baggy fit leather pant coming out for the spring. But I think, baggy is definitely in. The silhouette is looking like, 90s hip hop. Camo is really, really popping right now. The Western look is definitely rocking. Pharrell, Beyonce, not Kim Williams. He was in the building. He brought it to the forefront. I think that's like the energy and that's the trend. But I feel like, again, like we were talking about in terms of style, I feel like the trend is you. So whatever you feel comfortable in, whatever inspires you to put on, I feel like that's what you need to be doing. Don't follow trends. Don't follow the energy. Just do you. It's not on you, it's in you.
Fact. What you think, Obee? What can we expect from fashion in 2024?
I can say what you can expect from me in fashion in 2024 is that I'm going to use what I have, okay? I've been blessed with many things. I'm going to thank God for that. And I'm going to just be trying to do things that I feel like are going to be new and fresh. I like to forecast. For something that's really interesting that I do is I kind of like pay attention to things that are trendy and what other people like to buy and shop. But I also like to do things that are like quite different. By traveling, you gain experiences and knowledge over tea or wine or whatever it is that you're doing in a different country. So I like to gain more things, and it helps me with my vision and just like what I'm gonna do in fashion in the next year.
You got it. Chenae, how you feel?
I'm gonna make this about me also. From me this year, I am going to tap back into how I started, which was in footwear design. That's like my first love. And I also am going to take time to really focus on what I want to put out. I've done a lot of things just to generate sales, been more of a lot of people wear my things for like vacation and birthdays, which then prompted me to make a resort wear line so that my Chenae B line could be more of like the skirt I made on, like really structural, refined. Like I wear a lot of blazers and trousers and blazer dresses and things like that's how I dress. So that's what I want my brand, since it's a representation of me. And also, you girls might know of Hanifa. I work at Hanifa in manufacturing. So expect some more goodies from us this year.
And how did the audience feel? What's some things that y'all looking forward to for 2024 for fashion? Anybody in the audience? We got somebody back there, so right?
Oh wait, we're looking back.
One thing I'm looking forward to is just a lot more like Black love in fashion. I think there's so much that we can like accomplish when we come together and truly love each other. And so, yeah, I think that could be really dope. I just want to see more of that in 2024. And a lot more like co-designing. So not just like singular designers, but like
Collaborating.
collectives and just people linking up to design products, even if it's just one-off or if it is like a full collection. So just like more community-driven fashion.
You were talking about Black love. I feel like 2024 is also about self-love. And if you tap into you, I know there's a lot of outside noise, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, etc. But if you tap into your story, if you tap into your ancestor, your history, you're going to find some swag somewhere in there. So I feel like 2024, I challenge people in the audience, creative stylists, etc., designers, to tap into they self. Tell your story, because that's the most authentic thing that you could possibly do.
I'm going to piggyback off of that and say the biggest thing for me is definitely knowing what my God-given gifts are. I know that when it comes to having these gifts, you need to know what you're able to do with them and how to use them. And the moment that you're able to tap into that, I feel like there's blessings on blessings that are waiting in store for you. It's really about just following your calling, go with your passion, follow your dreams.
And to piggyback off of that, same. Like as I did not plan to be a designer. God threw that my way. I could have told you 10 years ago, maybe 3 years before I even started my clothing line, I would have been like, designer? No. Like my degree, like my first degree is fashion business. My second degree is fashion marketing. I'm getting my MBA now. Like everything is from a business standpoint. I really had no clue or want to be a designer. I had no idea that I possessed this skill set. Like I just feel like I'm ordained and this is what I'm supposed to do. So that's what I was saying. Like I really want to like I know that I'm walking into like a new season and I really want to like really think about what my purpose is in fashion, like what it is that this craft is supposed to like translate into. So yeah.
We got a question back
Yeah,
there.
we got one right back here.
When you guys were talking about what is fashion versus style, so hearing everyone have their opinion, and then some of the talks that followed after, like how you talked about what needs to be, like what can we get rid of, like what style can we get rid of, and someone mentioned the white socks, and talked about how like if you wear something right, so I'm thinking, what is wearing something right? Style, to me, style is what I do with the pieces that I own or what I pick out if I go to a store and something speaks to me.
For sure.
I wear it. When I was a kid, my mom tried to put me in certain things and I would always grab whatever she put me in and I'll just wear sweatpants over, just random stuff.
Yep.
And it looked like I was a clown, but my mom let me walk out because it made me happy. I'm like older now and I still do that, but I've been feeling like I'm being judged for it. And like hearing someone say, wear it the right way, it kind of makes me question fashion and style. Fashion, I think, is what they tell us to do with what they put out.
Right.
Whereas style is what we do with what we see and what we pick out. And I love fashion and I literally love what she's wearing. I love what she's wearing. Like,
for sure. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
What you're wearing or this should go if you're not wearing right is, to me, it felt a bit like I felt a little bit attacked because people do say that. Like, oh, you would look nice if you take that off, you know? It would be perfect if only you didn't wear the other thing. So I feel like expression is what style is.
Right.
Fashion is just what the industry puts out.
For sure. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. I totally agree with what you're saying. For sure. That was actually beautiful. So with fashion, and before we close out, right, and I get to my last question, with fashion, everything is opinionated. It's not one to attack anyone here. What I may wear, you may not wear. What you may wear, I may not wear, and vice versa, and things like that. So it's not to attack anyone here. It's very opinionated. It's what we like and what we feel. It is a thing of expression. So like I said, it's however you feel. I want to talk about when y'all was, someone said in the crowd, I think you had said that, just like we're like collaborating and things like that for 2024 and leaning on our community and things like that. I think us sharing our resources with each other is a big thing that, you know, sometimes we lack, and especially like in certain communities and things like that, everybody feel like, you know, holding certain information in is just like, it'll benefit you and it's going to hurt someone else. It is going to hurt someone else, but it's enough information and enough money to go around for all of us. And I think that we should really start giving resources and giving enough information so that we could all be a bunch of billionaires and millionaires in the same room, especially if color is a big thing. So like, how do y'all feel about that?
Or about sharing resources?
Yeah.
That's my number one name. If anybody know me in here, they know that I will connect you, I will link you, I will plug you, I will sit you down with the plug.
And make sure you drop a resource. I want all of y'all to drop.
What resource you? I mean, we a resource right now. Kill Off Season is looking for interns. We looking for people to add to our team, from production to design to everything in between. So I'm a resource. If you're looking to get into fashion, if you're looking to get into production, design, retail, holla at me. But definitely, like, honestly, if I have someone that I know that would benefit you, I love putting people together. I feel like that's our job as people, is to link people and make everybody around us better. So if I can help anybody here in the audience, please, I would love to do that.
Sure. Any resource you have, Chenae?
I don't have any specific resources, but I myself am a resource also. Anytime anyone asks me anything branding wise, or how did I start in shoes, or how did I become a designer, or education, because everyone knows I like to collect degrees. Everyone like, what should they do? Or like, what route should they go in school, or should they get their master's, or anything? I'm a resource also.
Yeah, I would love to say I'm a living resource as well. I not only go looking for the information, but I also ask for it. I seek and I find. So I think that if there is anything that you ever want to know, don't be afraid to ask, because somebody is in that room that has the information that you're looking for. You just got to seek for it.
Yeah, I also want to say, to piggyback off of that, is like, in terms of don't being afraid to ask, shoot your shot. You never know what a DM could do. You never know what an email could do, a LinkedIn message, anything, a meeting, etc. So don't be afraid. I mean, you can be afraid, but just shoot your shot anyway and see where it takes you. You never know where it might take you.
For sure, for sure. You wanted to say something, Obee?
Yeah, I was going to say I shot my shot at LV on LinkedIn, and that's how I got the job.
Fire,
you go.
Fire.
There you go.
That's fire. I want to let y'all know, for those who don't know, I'm the host and creator of Creators Club.
Let's give her a round of applause.
And thank y'all. The Creators Club is used, it's a hub for creators to come and research and network. So use Creators Club. You could use me all day to link someone. You get what I'm saying? So don't, like they said, don't be afraid to DM. We answer DMs, we answer posts, we make sure that we are communicating with everybody that's like in tune. So Creators Club is the hub for creators. So I want to thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. The room is packed, and this is amazing to me. This is amazing. This is my first panel, and I want to say this, right? Before we even got in tune with the whole panel thing, the ladies that's involved in the after party, they are brilliant. They are brilliant. If it wasn't for them, I would not be hosting this event right now. They came to me and they wanted me to host this event, so I appreciate y'all. Y'all all around the room. So I appreciate y'all. They are so beautiful, Black women, young women. And they made this happen tonight, so thank y'all, and most importantly, thank them. So let's give them a round of applause. Woo! So I'm gonna introduce them one by one. You gotta get up. So let's start first. So this is C. She's amazing. Saray. That's Saray. Jody. These girls made sure that I was very comfortable tonight, although I was very nervous, but they made sure that I was very comfortable tonight. They made sure everything was everything, and they are brilliant. We want to thank the after party on behalf of Creators Club, and thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate y'all. Also, before y'all get up, last but not least, please thank the panelists. They not flawed. Come on, y'all. One thing for sure, I'm not gonna lie, I've been hawking y'all Instagram pages. Y'all make sure, excuse my language, y'all put that shit on. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. And they so brilliant. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you for having us.
And make sure everybody scan the code that's on the screen to follow their Instagrams. Follow all of our Instagrams. Make sure y'all do that before y'all leave. Make sure everybody in the room does that. Before y'all get up, scan all the codes and follow all of us before y'all get up. And yeah, we could play this music and let's have a good time before we leave out of here.